Hello everyone, my name is Nadija Макаришин and I'm a teacher of English at Lviv National University, English Philology Department. And in this short episode, I'm going to teach you how to write proper emails. So this lesson is dedicated to email correspondence. What do you think? How many emails an average manager receives a day? Just think a second. It's nearly 80 emails daily. Can you imagine this number? Of course, not all of them are opened, not all of them are read, but only the most successful ones. So today, I'm going to teach you how to write a very good, professional, successful email. We consider this to be a very topical subject, a very topical issue these days, since we do write a lot of emails, taking into account the corona situation in the world, as well as generally the shift to online learning. So the first thing you really need to know about emails is negativity effect. Have you ever heard of that? Or also called negativity bias. It's a psychological phenomenon that says that we interpret emails much more negatively than they are usually intended. Much more negatively or sometimes neutrally, but almost never positively. So say you receive an email saying, "You promised to send me the test." It sounds almost accusatory when you start with "you promised," and taking into account this negativity bias, it sounds almost like a threat. So that's why we suggest you write something like, "I'm wondering how the test is going," or "Can you please tell me how the test is going," right? Something like this. Why does this effect happen? We lack gestures when we receive emails and read emails, right? We lack social cues, so that's why please take this into account when you write an email. The second important thing is clear, direct subject line. So subject line is a key message of your email, right? So please remember, do not write full sentences, but only the key points, yeah? So the bullet points, and never ever omit subject lines. That's very important, especially if you receive a lot of emails. Yeah, so do not sound like spam. Do not write something like top 10 things or very urgent in a subject line. So try to be as specific as possible. Top 3 things. So first of all, professional email address. Remember that it's great that you have like your personal email address sounding like hot girl or Barbie, but it's not professional at all. So please create name, surname, and then maybe using your corporate email, which would be probably the safest option. Structure. So the most typical structure is greeting, main body, and conclusion. Speaking about greetings, dear sir, madam, is it a good one? Not really. It's already a bit dated, so that's why we suggest you write something like Dear Anne, Dear Helen, if you stick to the semi-formal or informal style, or Dear Miss, Mr. Johnson, if you stick to the formal style. Remember that after Dear Mr. Johnson, we put a comma and then start with the second line. Remember that we always start with a big letter, so capital letter. Also, one more interesting thing here. My students often ask me, do we need to put a full stop after Mr., Miss, and so on? Yes, so in American English, we usually have a full stop, so Mr. full stop Johns, comma, and in British usage, we omit the full stop, so we have just Mr., then just space Johns. So that's as to the greeting. Then we have the main body and closings or conclusions, right? So the closing line is, if you stick to something more formal, you would say respectfully yours, sincerely yours. If you are using the semi-formal style, yeah, a good way would be best, yours, always yours, thanks, and so on. And the most informal case would be having something like love or with love, comma, and then your full name and a surname. You might also add your position if it's relevant. Yes, name, surname, comma, and then in the next line you would have the position. The next one is to simplify matters. You can go to your settings in your email and then establish a signature block. So it means that's a block that will automatically show up in every email. You might write down something like sincerely yours, comma, your name, your surname, and your position, and maybe a logo of your university or your educational establishment. The next thing is speaking about fonts. So keep your fonts classy. So 10 or 12 point type and an easy to read font would be the safest option. If we speak about the font, it's usually Times New Roman, Calibri, or Arial. So these are the best ones. As for the color, black probably would be the most suitable variant here. One more thing is never ever send emails without proofreading. So always proofread your email, check the spelling mistakes. Maybe there is something you want to correct about your email. So proofreading is the most essential part of your email. And the last but not least, keep it short, probably a tiny bit shorter than this video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next episode.